welcome back to more Spongebob Squarepants Battle for Bikini Bottom. Where in last episode we finished up our adventures in downtown Bikini Bottom, and today we will be beginning a new section of the game requiring 10 golden spatulas for us to enter, and it is Goo Lagoon. Let's go take the taxi.
Goo Lagoon, a sun-drenched beach of sludge at the bottom of the sea. But all is not well here on Paradise.
Okay, Goo Lagoon. The beach where SpongeBob goes, and he acts as a lifeguard for a day. Fun episode. Anyway, you can use Bubble Bash to move things. Stand on the platform and press the Y button to flip the platform over. This is going to be a very critical gameplay mechanic later on for a specific spatula, which we'll get to when we get to it. But first, we're going to meet a brand new enemy, and oh man, can he be a pain. Not really in this level, but in one very specific section later in the game, he's going to be a massive pain in the butt. This robot is called Monsoon. Watch out for his lightning attack. So if you stand under him, or anywhere near him, he will summon a cloud of lightning, and it will move over you, and after a couple lightning strikes, it will just strike you, and you will lose a health point. So the only way to deal with him is to get underneath him and use the Bubble Bash to destroy him. Pretty simple. Anyway, let's go talk to Larry.
SpongeBob, do I look burned?
Well, you do look a little red.
Barnacles! That darn robot.
Robot?
Yeah, a big robot stole everybody's sunscreen.
Oh no! Everyone will burn, and then they'll get all itchy and peel.
Exactly! You can't spend a day at the beach without sunscreen. That sun is way too hot. That robot is out on the island. Nobody can get to him. SpongeBob, maybe you can use those sun reflectors to point the sun's rays on that robot. If you hit one of the buttons on the side of a lifeguard tower, the reflector will turn. Connect all the towers and the light will shoot right out of the big reflector on the island. Then all you have to do is swim out to the island and turn the big reflector onto the robot. I'll stay here and protect the babes.
But I, can't swim.
Alright, so we can do most of this mission right now. This is the main objective for this entire level, is to get that robot off this giant sunscreen box so everyone can enjoy their day at the beach. But we can do 4 of the 5 main steps right now. Step 1, stand underneath this right here to reflect the sun's rays onto that lifeguard tower over to the left. And then step 2, all we gotta do is just, yeah, we'll take out the G-Glove while we're, G-Glove? No, G-Love. Either Glove or G-Love. Pick your preference. 6 of one, half a dozen the other. Bounce across this guy's belly, and then over here, we'll take out the hammer while we're at it. And then over here, we want to, Bubble Bash this button right here to redirect the or to redirect the sun's rays onto that tower over on the left. And I'm sure you've probably figured out what all the steps are at this point. It's just, each step is going to a different tower and redirecting the rays on those towers. So here's step 3. Hit the Bubble Bash this button on the right to direct it over to that tower on the left. And then of course step 4 is to go over to that tower and, you guessed it, Bubble Bash the button on the right to direct it out to that sun tower that sun tower out on the island, like so. And then the 5th step would be to redirect the rays from that tower onto the rubble. We cannot do that just yet because, of course, we have the entirety of Goo Lagoon to get through before we can get there. So it's so tantalizingly out of reach how we've done 80% of this mission, but just want that last 20% that we can't get done until much later. But, you know, we'll just learn to roll with it. Anyway, now what we want to do is knock you out of the way and head over to this bus stop and switch to a good old friend of ours, Patrick! Everybody loves Patrick. So now what we want to do is go over to this staircase over here. We unfortunately can't do much against Monsoon, because, well, I mean, we can pick something and throw it at him, but there's nothing for us to really pick up, I guess, except for this Tiki. I could try to throw a Tiki at Monsoon. Let's give that a shot. Perfect. There we go. And look at that. That wasn't part of the plan. We even got a pink shiny object as a result of it. So now let's deal with you. That's what you get for freaking smacking me off the edge with your freaking hammer. I didn't even see that coming. So now what we want to do is, now that we're up here, we want to get rid of this Duplicatotron so no more hammers can spawn. Jump out to this, on top of this lifeguard tower, and throw the watermelon at this button right here to start a chain reaction of a bunch of towel platform, or of a bunch of towels to rise up from the beach below, so that we can use them as platforms. Don't question it, just roll with it. And we want to do the same thing again, but this time the towel is going to be moving. The goal here is to get to that sock. You may have seen it during the cutscene. There's a sock on top of that tower out on the island over there. So the goal is to make our way across all these lifeguard towers by jumping between the towels. I recommend waiting until the towels are extended vertically instead of horizontally, so you get the most amount of range in your jump, like so. And then once you get here, we have to throw another watermelon at the button to extend the final set of towels, which are going to take us out to the tower with the sock on it. And I recommend waiting until these pink towels get close enough so that you can actually make the jump safely. Wait for this to extend vertically and wait for the blue towel to go all the way towards you, because it moves forward and backward. And then the sock is now yours to collect. So now we can just bounce our way back. And on our way back, we want to make sure we switch to Spongebob, because this next section has to be done with Spongebob, and it is the section I mentioned in which the Bubble Bash will be of the utmost importance. But also we can spin the umbrellas around, so that's fun. And if you want, you can head over to these Tikis right over here and do a little platforming challenge across them to get yourself a green shiny object, and then head on back. Is it worth it? Probably not, but still a fun little challenge you can complete. Okay, so now next up, the thing we're going to do is go talk to Mrs. Puff down there, because she has another mission from us. She's completed the evacuation down to Bikini Bottom. Now she has another mission for us.
Oh no, the children's balloons have been overfilled. They're carrying the children out of control.
I don't know, Mrs. Puff. It looks like they're having a lot of fun.
Yes, too much fun if you ask me. You can save the children by bubble bashing each of the balloons. Bubble bash all the balloons, then come see me for a reward.
Can do, Mrs. Puff.
So, get underneath the shadow of the balloons, press the Y button to do a bubble bash, and there's one of the 5 children saved. So that's pretty easy, right? Don't get used to it, because some of the ones later on are incredibly difficult. They require such precise positioning that it's almost impossible. Not quite impossible, just incredibly challenging. So here I recommend waiting on top of this platform right here, let him pass over you, and then bubble bash from underneath. That one was still pretty simple, required a bit more positioning, but still nothing too complicated. So let's try to... Actually, let me try to knock you into you. There we go. Take out the G-Love with the hammer. So let's bubble bash this platform right here, and then get onto... Oh, can I do it? Oh, if I'd been a little bit faster, I might have been able to pull that off. Okay, let's just wait on this platform right here. Wait for him to turn around and get him here. If I was quick enough, I would have gotten them on that wooden platform over there. But unfortunately, I was not that quick. Okay, so now what we want to do, take out the Monsoon, take out the Duplicatotron, and then hop down here to grab a sock hiding on top of this bar right over here. The juice bar, as you can see, written right over there. And now we don't have to go across all the wooden platforms again. Instead, we can just take the stairs up and then make our way down here, like so. And we can grab underwear here, because I think we'd take a hit right there. And what we want to do now is we're going to want to switch to Patrick, because it's going to be... We do have the Save the Children mission to complete. Don't worry, we will save the children in due time. But before we do that, we want to pick up these Tikis as Patrick, like so, and then stack them like so, because we're going to use these Tikis to get on top of that ledge over there. And there is a Patrick-specific mission waiting for us on the other side of this ledge. Let's jump on top of them like so. Remember to use your high jump instead of your short jump, not the short jump, high jump. You use that to get on top of the Tikis. And there's another clam that needs to be fed, so let's go ahead and feed the clam the 2200 shiny objects it requires. And now we have a new quest for Patrick to complete. To initiate it, you gotta throw the watermelon at this button right over here. And now it's a parkour challenge across the lake. So what you want to do is you want to wait for the dragon to stop spitting fire, and then bounce off this trampoline to move on forward. I believe it said, do you want to challenge the dragons in that little text box? And I guess this is challenging the dragons because they're spitting fire at us, but whatever. Anyway, so you want to jump across these orange platforms, jump across the trampolines, and whenever there's a path that the fire might cut you off on, which there's not many of them, there's one right here because it's right on top of the trampoline, you want to wait for the fire to go away, then bounce on the thing that it's covering. But other than that, it's just a simple parkour challenge. Across here, I want to wait for it to get a little bit closer, and then I'm going to jump like so. And then here's our golden spatula waiting for us right over here. Now, I don't feel like going back through all that, so we're just going to warp to Over the Moat, which was the name of that mission, in case you are curious. And this will take us right to the start, before we hit the button, and now we can just drop back off the ledge, like so. Switch back to Spongebob, and finish our mission with Mrs. Puff to save the children. So let's go do just that. Switch back. Now, these two are the really hard ones, because these are over water, so if you miss a jump... that was close. That was really close. If you miss a jump, like if you miss the bubble bash, you might just go flying into the water. And that's not good. So you want to be very careful about that. And I missed the bubble bash of the monsoon. Move before it doesn't lightning me. Okay. Missed my chance to get him while he was over here, so we'll just wait for him to come back around. I probably won't be able to get him here unless I get extremely lucky, which it looks like I might. Step off the ledge and then bounce him. Like that. Okay. There's the fourth or the fifth down. So now we just gotta get the fifth one. And that actually, this has actually been going pretty well. I've been getting pretty lucky with the cycles. Basically, I would just recommend wait, because they go on a pretty fixed cycle. There we go. That was a perfect run. So you just have to basically wait on those specific locations for the kids to come around so that you can bubble bash the balloons from underneath. They'll make their rounds eventually. I guess I just got really lucky with that cycle. Okay, so now what we want to do is bubble bash this platform forward, grab the purple shiny object like so, and then go talk to Mrs. Puff to collect our reward.
My hero! You've saved the children. Here's a golden spatula as a reward.
Now we're going to take another little shortcut by warping back to Over the Moat a second time, and switching to SpongeBob once again, because otherwise we would have had to go through that section with the rising and falling platforms over there, and no sense walking through all that when we can just warp right over here, switch to SpongeBob, and then continue on a little way, because the way through the rest of the section is going to be we turned left over, I guess we went straight over here to go save the remaining two kids, but this time what we want to do is we want to turn to the, first off, I'm going to actually, hit you this time. There we go. We're going to head, that wasn't part of the plan. Head over here to the right, bounce off this guy's belly, jump over the fire, like so. Okay, not part of the plan. Not exactly part of the plan, but it still worked out pretty fine for us. Okay, now that we're at the sandcastle, what we want to do is get rid of this guy with a bubble bash, because these guys are really annoying. Now, you gotta be quick about this. What you want to do is you have to knock out this bottom piece. I said knock out this bottom piece, and then quickly jump your way up these stone tikis before the thunder tiki explodes. Because when the thunder tiki explodes, it will destroy the stone tikis, and you will have to reset by just warping to any of these locations. And then trying again, because if you miss, obviously you can't. The only way up here is through the stone tikis, and you can't jump up here if there's no stone tiki, so you have to reset. Anyway, once you get up here successfully, the sock right here will be waiting for you. Now all you gotta do is head over here, grab some underwear.
Bob, I heard that you were collecting golden spatulas.
Yes, Bubble Buddy, I am. Have you seen one?
Why, yes. We were having a sandcastle contest, and somebody put a golden spatula on the top.
If I had a castle, I'd name it Fort Pattytown III. And Fort Pattytown III would have a big bake sale every Monday.
The golden spatula?
Oh, at the top of the sandcastle, right. That should be easy to reach.
Well, perhaps you should see for yourself.
I will see for myself, Bubble Buddy. Thank you for your wonderful advice. Now what we want to do, you don't really need to activate the Thunder Tiki, you can just, break these and move on with your very little way, but be careful, as soon as you hit this button, water is going to start, or I guess goo is going to start pouring into this area very slowly, and obviously since SpongeBob can't, swim, the goo is not a nice thing. So as soon as you can, you want to get on top of these platforms, and once you're on top of the platforms, you're pretty safe. So from here, we're gonna take a. No, we're not. I'm just gonna take a shortcut, but no, we're gonna go the long way. I guess the regular way. Jump over here, and now these platforms are gonna collapse under your weight, like so. So you want to be very quick about moving across them. Don't stand them for too long, or otherwise they're just gonna sink. They're gonna drag you down into the goo, and you're going to sink as a result. Let's try to. This hammer doesn't know over here, so we're gonna catch it off guard. We got the underwear on our way up to the top, and there's two more socks we have to get in this area, both of which that we have to get from on top of the. Yeah, I missed that jump. Okay, fortunately, never mind. I thought it was gonna take us back to that platform, but it did not. Fortunately, it gives a pretty nice checkpoint over there, so not too big of a deal. But it does also reset the goo timer, so not that big of a deal, I suppose, because you're up here, you're past the goo, doesn't really matter. But either way, also you can also walk on this, so you don't. If you're not confident in jumping abilities, you can just no, okay, not part of the plan. Does the platform small again? Yes, it does. Okay, move quickly before the fire burns us alive. You can actually fit inside the life preserver right there. I have sat inside there before. I don't recommend it because it's hard to get back out of there once you make your way in. Anyway, now what we gotta do is make our way around the exterior of the sandcastle, taking out any cannons launching beach balls or monsoons in our path. Believe it or not, the beach balls can actually be more dangerous than the monsoons, because if you don't see a beach ball coming, which is pretty hard not to see them coming, it can just knock you right off the tower and then you have to do it all again. Whereas the monsoon, plenty of time to react to it. Whereas the beach ball, if you miss it, it just knocks you straight off into the abyss. So be very vigilant about that. Whereas the monsoon only in one place and it'll damage you, sure, but it won't knock you back in the launch. Whereas the beach ball will knock you straight off the tower. So very, very careful. You gotta be very careful about that. And of course, when you get within a certain radius of the cannon, it will stop firing at you. So not too much to worry about there. What we want to do now is just to save. We want to head up top here, get rid of the hammer, and then grab the golden spatula so that we can, well, save. Now for the remaining 2 socks, you have to use this awning for both of them. So you want to jump out to it and spin stall to make your way over here, and then get on top here. You can bubble bounce in the middle if you want to take if you have a hit point to spare, you can do that. But either way, you want to land on the edge of this awning right here, so that you have something to stand on without bouncing. Then very lightly jump underneath, turn around, jump again, spin stall, and get into this little alcove right here. You can take a little bit to perfect, but basically, you're jumping down like this, turning around, jumping again, and then spin stalling like that. So that's basically all there is to it. Unfortunately, I do think I have to go through this platforming section again, because there aren't any really precautions I could have taken. I guess technically what you can do is you can go into the caves first, and then activate that quest, and then you can just warp to the caves once you're done with that. But it's not too far of a walk, so I'm not gonna, it's not that big of a deal, just to get back up here. But that is the last thing that we're going to be doing in this episode. We have 23 spatulas and 9 socks. Get around! Nope, that's not part of the plan. Okay, well, no sense in wasting time getting back up here, because, you know, the checkpoint's right here. So I can just, I'll walk around here, and then I'll start the next episode at the top of the castle. So that'll be this episode. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for next time. Hope to catch you all tomorrow for some more Spongebob Squarepants Battle for Bikini Bottom. Goodbye!